Hello, friends. Namaste. Good morning or good evening, everyone. This is Lavanya. I live in Australia. I'll be the host for this session with divine blessings of Dr. Brahmashi Subhash Patriji and Swarnamala Patriji. Let us start our today's session. So we all know that we have begun this beautiful journey with this book called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy with our very own pyramid master, Sohana Dodle from California, USA. So I would like you to welcome back to this Divine Breath YouTube channel, PSSM Australia, initiative of Pyramid Spiritual Society's movement. So please do subscribe the Divine Breath YouTube channel. So with this, let me go ahead and bring Sohana onto the screen. Sohana, over to you.
Thank you, Lavanya. Thank you so much. So let me know if anywhere you have my voice break or something like that. Today we have 4 chapters to finish to complete this whole book, and I think there are completely 20 chapters. So in that we have covered till 16, and now we are starting it with 17. So, like always, Joseph Murphy is such a beautiful author. Obviously, authors are good in narration, and eventually, he's the best. What I feel, he has a very different way of articulating things and articulating how life forces or what things happen in life, and especially, I mean, everybody will have one day shine in their life. So just like that, he had been writing many books since so long, but in 1997 he had written this book, and that's when he got into the spotlight, and he had become a very marvelous author, because many scientists were trying to prove it scientifically, but he was a person who was enough courageous to come out and prove it with his just articulation. So I mean, he had just the justifications and reasonings, that's it. So with all of that, he could convince thousands and millions of people. Especially this book is another medium of convincing people in his process. So I mean, last time we have stopped at the place called marital relationships and human relationships. So today we are starting it with how to use your subconscious mind for your forgiveness. So yes, the biggest problem in this world for everybody is forgiveness, forgiving. It's not easy to forgive because somebody cheated on us, somebody abandoned us, somebody failed on us, somebody did something to us. It's not easy. Whatever other person does, we don't like it, and that's when we feel that I cannot just take it, right? So that time forgiveness comes into the picture. And if it's something like temporary, and if you are very capable, or if you have that mental capacity of just releasing it as soon as you are done with that, then that's fine. You are eventually habituated yourself to forgive. Initially, it's like forgiving or forgiveness is a thing that it starts from you, it starts within you. So if you want to do it to other people, or if you want to do it on other things, other aspects, it needs to start from you. So in which way? I mean, all the time, we just for forgiveness, it actually, we need to consider something called blame game. That's the biggest thing that would really make us understand completely about forgiveness. So blame game is a thing that when we are literally not capable of accepting our own things or accepting our own reality, that's when the blame game starts. That's when we start pushing on to the other people, pushing on to the situations, the life. And the worst part is, we even push it on to God also, because most of the time, if you see the old people, what do? If they, I mean, obviously, from the age of 65 to 95, people will have physical problems. I mean, body starts getting slow and all. The cells won't have that good functioning like they had it in 30s and 40s. So what happens is minor chronic problems, leg pains, headaches, shoulder pains, body pains, these kind of things. When these things happen, what people do say is, God has given me this kind of life. God has starting to end my life in this way. What did I do? I looked after everybody so nice. So that's how we do. And most of the time, when we are left with no choice, I mean, we will be completely exhausted, pushing on to other people, pushing on to everybody, pushing on to things, life. And then what are you left with? Only God. So why do we need to even leave God? So let's even push it on to God also. And that's how we do. So for forgiveness, it's a only simple logic that it's not even a logic, simple formula that how do we do it in our lives is start accepting yourself, and then you when you start accepting, you will understand where you are really, and that's when you will understand what to even forgive within you. Without understanding, without accepting, you cannot do that. So forgiveness is something that's very important for us to heal ourselves or evolve, for us to have the transformation. If you want to become something, that this etc etc, and if you want to be in the place that you want it to be, then all you got to do is you need a transformation, you need a change, you got to do things what you need to do. So think about something. You wanted to become a doctor. You started studying, you're done with your school, then you go to your studies that I mean which can make you a doctor. So instead of MBBS, what if you go to engineering and think about MBBS? Would that happen? No, that will never work, right? So just the way, always you cannot push on to the other people that they did this, they did that, life did this to me. That's a huge thing which is always stopping us to limiting us to this humanity. Something, when you hurt yourself, or when you hurt your mental conditions or your mental capacity has no control. God has no control over your intelligence, your brain, your mental condition, your mind. No, the subconscious mind, nothing. God has no control over it. But God has control. God is nothing but your nature. Okay. God is the combination of nature and universe. Nature is something that what we are living in, and universe is something where nature is in. So uh, in this point of view, when nature, if you think about nature, when you hurt yourself, see, if you just somebody cheated on you, then if you just sit and think that this person cheated on me, and I need to do this thing, that thing, this has no control. God or nature or universe, nobody has control over these things for you to stop. But God or nature or universe can only show you the cause and effect. You have done a cause, and then that will have an effect. But your physical body is is an asset of this universe, is an asset of this nature. So it has all the control over your body. So think about something. If you hurt yourself, what happens is, yesterday I was chopping vegetables. Okay, I wanted to make some good curry. Then I was chopping vegetables, and I was little in a hurry that I need to do something else. I had set, line of meetings completely happening yesterday, but I was even hungry because it's been 2 or 3 days that I ate Indian food. So I was like, I need some good curry right now, or else I'll die. I was at that point. So I was like chopping vegetables, and I didn't look at that, and it was a knife, a very sharp knife. I cut my hand. It's a regular thing, a small thing like that happens. I cut while I'm cooking, everything happens. I cut my hand, I burn my hand, I do all this kind of stuff. So when I'm doing that, for that day, I had all the pain. From today morning, I don't see the pain, but just there is a small rupture on my hand. Think about something, why I don't have a pain, why it started healing. Because life has forgiven me. I hurted myself. Because why did I hurt myself? I was not in that present moment. I didn't have my presence of mind. I was not conscious. I was just thinking about something else, and I was doing it very fast. But life has forgiven me, nature has forgiven me. I was having lots of pain. I couldn't even eat. I cooked, but I couldn't even eat with my hand, and I got to find a spoon and again eat with that. So life always forgives us. Nature forgives us if we hurt ourselves physically, or if we hurt somebody else physically. But our mental conditions, or our brain, our intelligence, mind, nothing can be controlled by any of this. So that's all in our control. That's all what we are. Your body is not you. Your intelligence, your brain, your mind, your subconscious mind, all of this is you. So then, if that, when life has forgiven us, nature has forgiven us, then why can't we do that in this regular small daily situations or daily issues? What is stopping us to forgive? Only simple thing, this chapter is almost of 10 pages, but all of it author was just trying to tell us is only one thing. Only if you can forgive yourself, you can forgive other people. If you forgive other people, you will start healing yourself, so that you can start experiencing the next phase of your life. So that's what this forgiveness is. But I think we'll see there's something else. Okay, so there's a beautiful, I love his articulation. So he gave a statement saying that life plays no favorites. Yes, definitely. Life don't have, I like this person, I don't like this person. Life will not have that. Or universe or nature, nobody will have that. It's only that we make it. So that's what he's trying to tell, and we'll see. Yeah, we have covered this. And okay, so most of the time what happens is, uh, what is stopping us what is stopping us to forgive ourselves initially? So once you understand how you forgive yourself, or what forgiveness is, only if you experiment on yourself, then what is stopping us? Only two things. One is ego, the second one is guilt. These both are the things that are completely stopping us. Ego, we know, right? It's just a point of not accepting the other person's point of view in order to, multiple negative feelings, or multiple different stories that what we have made up. And guilt is something that you're unable to accept that you have really done it or no. So it's guilt is nothing but you are in a phase of a shock. That actually happens because for this there is a very huge and great example. We all know a great master called Ramtha, right? Ramtha, he is a Lemurian, I can say a guru, monk, master, whatever it is, but he was there. Okay, there is a great master called Ramtha, and he's basically a Lemurian. And how did I hear his story? What actually fascinated me? I was at a point of view that where I started thinking that's called self-realization. I've just started being idle and started looking into my life, into past, that what all I have done, what good, what bad, where am I up to, how am I reacting to situations, what made me land in this kind of stage of life. Then I was looking back and just thinking about all of it. Somehow, from a very I really am a huge fan of one of the masters in our PMC, uh, the the light workers team. His name is Allah Bakshu. So he's the one who always talks about Ramtha and light workers and new energy, all of this. Somehow randomly I was on call with my mom, and my mom was listening on her iPad on that side, his class. So that's how I was just listening. I was talking to her, but my main focus just went on to there, because somehow she was telling me I'm listening to Ramtha's classes. But somehow he said Buddha and all. Then I was like, hold on, he's talking something. Then that's how I started listening. Okay, what is he even telling about Buddha? That's how he caught me. Then I just listened to the Ramtha stories, and that was very fascinating. Ramtha, what he was just like those days. There were many wars, and these kind of struggle happening between the English people and the Lemurian people, and they had lots of discrimination. People were killed, people were harassed. All of this was happening, and Lemurians had no power. They weren't not completely literates, so they had nothing to do over their domination. Then Ramtha took the courage and he killed thousands of people only to save his Lemurian country. That's what he did. So after all of this, then I just started thinking, and he's a murderer and maybe a warrior. How did he end up being a god? Because he is the only person who could just evaporate himself whole body into just a star, and he can come back whenever he wants. And how did how did he like restore his body for these many years, and what is he even doing? Like, how did that happen? And that got me, because that guilt. I have hurted people. I have hurted mentally, physically. It's very hard to believe, being a woman or a girl. Nobody imagines that, but I did that. I have physically hurted people, and that was the biggest guilt ever I had in my life. Like, literally. I was at that point of stage that I couldn't let go for what all I did, because my anger, the biggest thing, two things that I had in my life was anger, fear, both of this. Like, they completely distracted me, because I wasn't never realizing I had over the board anger, I had over the board fear. And after stories, I just started leaving the guilt like so good. Like, started understanding the situation. Yes, probably I did that, I have learned my lesson. From then till date, if the other person is coming to hurt me physically also, I have never hurted him, because I know what happens after that. That person, it's a moment of anger, it's a moment of fear, whatever it may be. But later on, I have faced that guilt. Nobody needs to say anything to you that you did this, you did that. It's just ourselves, that's enough. And I have been haunting myself like so crazy. You did this, you did this, you did this happened. I couldn't let go. I had that guilt, and every day I used to call my mom. We used to talk. I mean, she always tried to deviate me, distract me, but somehow I used to end up talking, going into again that discussion, again crying, and I used to feel so sorrow for that. And this used to happen. And Ramtha says only one thing, that that's okay. These are all experiences. Unless and until you learn it, after you learn it, then you will see releasing it. Unless and until you don't learn it, you cannot release it, because you don't know that you have learned it, but your subconscious mind knows that you haven't learned it, so it will not leave it. It will keep holding, or it will keep carrying with you till how far you go. So whatever it is, from then I just started learning only one thing. That's okay. Life is like that. We keep doing things happen. It's just that start learning from whatever you're doing. And then no strings attached. Like, literally no strings attached with whatever situation, whatever people, whatever it is. It's done. So that's how, and that's the biggest guilt that I always had. Then we got to figure out what are the guilts we have. Everybody, including, if you actually go and listen to the story of Balakrishna sir in PMC channel, you will know he had explained very beautifully about guilt, fear, forgiveness, all of it. And especially, even his journey started with lots of guilt. It was there. So every person will have lots of guilt, and that's the only biggest thing that not letting us to forgive. So ego, yes, ego is 20 to 30% that's stopping us. But how would ego go? If the other person or somebody convinces you, saying that, why can't you be the bigger person, and just leave it. And that's when our ego disappears, and we start accepting, we start forgiving. But the guilt, it's not like that. 1,000 people come to you, 1,000 people convince you. No, that's not happening unless and until you find a clear clarity or a justification for whatever happened or whatever you did. So it's always that guilt is something that you got to release. For what you got to do to release your guilt? Only one thing: sit, relax, meditate as much as you can. And that's when, in a deep meditative state, you will start seeing the things what happened in a brighter side, the side which you couldn't see. After that, then you will realize, oh, then you can connect the dots. This is why it all happened. I got to learn this lesson. If this wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't have learned this lesson. So why all of these lessons, why all of this wisdom, we will know in the next chapter. And next thing is criticism. So I'm not talking much about criticism, but yes, we all know what that word means. And even that also, I mean, that is also one of the reasons that's going to stop us from forgiving. So forgiveness is necessary for healing. We all know this. So, okay, what do we do for forgiving? I mean, how do we, start? It's very forcible in the initial days how to forgive, or how to even inculcate that feeling or start that feeling within ourselves. So all we gotta do is, there is something called a great power in this universe, which is called love. So with lots of love, lots of compassionating, and lots of unconditional love, and that's how we can forgive. So your author simply says that, if you want to forgive people, fill yourself with lots of love, fill yourself with lots of unconditional love, compassion, and start spreading it to everybody. And that's how we can start forgiving. So okay, oh, I have explained you what's the technique. It's very simple. Take a deep breath, sit in the meditative state, and just let go. If you're still unable to do that, think of something that you are the God's favorite child. God will let go what I have done. And that's how we can start letting go our things that what are stuck within us. So that's one of the technique that he is telling. And okay, so we all know, we all have our own ways to forgive. So how do we test ourselves from forgiving? How do we test? So for everything we'll have a test, right? So it's a simple thing. Go to a person whom you don't like the most, and just tell them that, start appreciating, start praising them. That's okay. And that's when they start talking to you, and that's when they start proving that they're more bigger than us, more greater than us. That's okay. And if you are able to listen what all they are talking, then that's when you have passed this forgiveness test with no strings attached. Do it multiple times, because I had this whole world of enemies around me. I started with one, improving with the other one, succeeded with the other one. So I did that. That's okay. That's how we got to learn. And that's how even Yashodhara says, right? We need, sometimes we need light of others, and sometimes others might need our light. Right now, you need theirs. So that's okay. Start using people for wisdom. That's not a bad thing. Not at all a bad thing. I did that. I had world of enemies around me. I used to do that. Okay. Before going only, I used to prepare myself. Okay, right now I'm getting into a deep shit. That's okay. You gotta deal with this. The other person is gonna talk lot, and now you gotta patiently listen, accept it, only appreciation, like nothing else. That's it. And that's how I used to prepare myself. That's how, what I learned before forgiving. I have learned patience. I started patiently listening to them. Okay. Initially, I used to get irritated. What are you even talking? Do I really deserve this? Do I really need to sit here and listen to all of this? I don't need it. I was like that. But slowly, yes, I need to get that, because you cannot keep on abandoning people, everyone, like one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. That's not okay. Unless and until they're your family members, they can understand and come back to you, but not everybody. So living in this country, it's not at all easy. You need everybody, every single person, and not just like that, but you got to maintain that harmonic relationship with everybody. That's the biggest thing that is making you a divine person or a divine being. You cannot do that. So I just started doing that, dealing with one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. Then I've succeeded with nth number of person. And I was like, okay, I passed this test. It took so long. That's okay. But it's like that. That's how we got to test ourselves. Just start listening to the people whom you don't like. Talk to them so nicely. Starting, they might have think very strange. Why is this person even talking to me, calling me, being so nice to me? That's okay. They will understand that you have changed, and that's when it all starts. That's when you see the other person becoming like you, very arrogant, very jealous, very ego and all. The person couldn't understand what you're going through, but that's okay. You will learn forgiving, and eventually you are even teaching them forgiving. That's how it's happening. They will see you and how is this person being so nice to me? Later on, they will understand what you were actually learning. And even they will end up being that. So yeah. So as usual, the author is only telling that we deserve love, we deserve peace, we deserve joy, wisdom, and all the blessings. So to forgive is something that we are giving something to us. So that's all the forgiving means. And yeah, forgive until 70 times 7. Okay, that's what author's last statement in forgiveness. So okay, this is something interesting. How your subconscious mind removes mental blocks. So the solution always lies within the problem. This is all we always know. The answer is in every question. These two also we know. So this is actually something really related to many techniques, but we'll finish it soon. Okay, so here all I would say is in this chapter, how to remove the mental blocks. We have many mental blocks. Like everybody has their own. Everybody has their own. Okay, if we take the most common examples, alcoholics, drug addicts, etc. These kind of stuff. I mean addictions. These kind of stuff. Just not just alcohol, not just drugs are addiction, but also blame games, not accepting the point, ignoring. These are also the addiction that what we have. I mean something you built it for so long over your blame game obsession. They are all called addictions. You know the people who the person who is very addicted to alcohol, he says that it's good, it's relaxing me after having a long day. You have made your own obsessed story over your obsessed blame game. That's it. Alcohol is not going to solve anything. Your drugs, etc., nothing is going to solve anything. Eventually, it's decaying yourself, your body, and trust me, all of these are only they are just spoiling your body 10 to 20%, but they are spoiling or decaying your mental health 100% completely. If you have heard about if you really know about Patriji's life story or all of this, then you will know what these can do. But it's all about self realization. He says that if you drink much, if and you should be aware of that. If you consume lots of alcohol, you need to be aware of that you are an alcoholic. If you're doing drugs, then you need to be aware of that you are a drug addict. Unless and until you are not aware of that, you cannot continue doing that. Once you're aware of that, that's nothing but self-realization. First point, you might fail. Second point, you might little succeed, and then that's how you gotta keep restoring yourself, preserving yourself from all of these. So everything, how do we these are all the blocks that are stopping us from healing ourselves. Healing is nothing but it's just a transformation, that every second, every minute, our body is transforming, our cells are regenerating, our mind, hormones, everything is regenerating. And these mental blocks are not letting fully regenerate. We are only regenerating, like 20 to 30%, because our mental blocks are stopping us. So in this point, only important thing here that author is trying to tell is law of substitution. What is law of substitution? Whatever, all of this starts from our thoughts. Everything starts from our mind. So when this is happening, what is author trying to say is realize that what is happening. Since the day one or in any of my class, all I keep telling is question yourself and understand at what point you are. Watch your thoughts, observe your thoughts. If you do that, then you will know what are the mental blocks that we are having. Once we know that, immediately law of substitution is only that relax, and change that thought in your mind. Stop thinking, or if you continue to think like that, you're growing that thought continuously, you're regenerating, you're producing lots of energy. Then where that energy is going, it's just going into your that kind of thoughts. So once you realize that these kind of things are happening within yourself, stop them. Stop them and completely substitute that thought with something good, that works for you. If you're alcoholic, I have heard from Ayappa Pindi sir, these kind of addictions. I have heard from him in one of the JDTPs I was hosting. He was my guest, and he actually shared a very good thing, because there was a participant who asked him that, I have a smoking addiction. Could you please help me out with this? How to get rid of this? Every time I'm just trying to do that, but I'm unable to succeed. I'm unable to stop it completely. For a while, I'm stopping it, but unfortunately, after some time, I'm just getting back into that. And he was very clear on his question. He said he had that courage to come in front of hundreds of people, and he posed this question, and he asked that, I need a very good solution because I badly need to get out of this situation. Then Ayappa Pini sir said, always do one thing: have a pyramid cap. Keep on your pyramid cap always. Only while you are going to that kind of thing, you got to remove it. So see how many times in a day you're removing it. I mean, how many times you're smoking in a day, or how many times you're drinking in a day, and that's when you realize. So he said that just use the pyramid cap, and that will why pyramids are good, or why meditation is good, only because with the normal energy, what we are having or what we are holding, it's not sufficient for us for our transformation or healing. So we need some fresh energy. Think about something. If you go in a um, rain mud or something like that, we are fully with lots of that stinky thing or that mud part and everything stuck all over our what do we say, our body, our dress, our shoes. Then how do we clean up ourselves? We gotta get into the shower and clean ourselves multiple times to get all the dirt over our body. So just like that, for us to change that thought, because we have grown it since thousands of years, maybe like since from the day you have started doing all of this, you kept on growing it. You enjoyed it, you had fun with it, it had become your best company. All of it, your thoughts, every thought of you which is coming into your mind, they are your best company. That's why you started growing within you, and that's why they are growing in you. So for all of this, we need something bigger than what we are, and that's what this cosmic energy is. You're meditating, or the pyramids, these kind of stuff is nothing but a energy greater than us, that's just what do we say, completely cleaning us, or completely giving, it's cosmic energy. What happens is, it once you start meditating, it enters into your body. Once it's entering into your body, it's going to change, or it's going to dissolve all of the blocks that what we have, or what we have built in our body, mental body, physical body, all the 9 bodies. And that's why we feel very fresh, very rejuvenated. You just experiment on this. When you're fully angry and you're unable to control your anger, just sit and meditate. Forcibly make yourself just sit and meditate. Do nothing. Get into the room, lock your door, observe your breath. That's it. Slowly you will relax, and after 5 or 10 minutes, then once you wake up from your meditation, then if you see a complete transformation on your point of view on the same situation. Why were you so angry before, and why are you so cool after that? It's only because that's how cosmic energy works. It's a magical power which can completely help us in this huge process of transformation. So law of substitution is nothing but that kind of thing. So law of substitution in this, always realize what are your mental blocks, and start substituting with the most comfortable ways that you could do to yourself. So always have this kind. Okay, so I think I have shared it, but I want, maybe I will share that again too. Okay, so yeah, it's just this much. So for all these kind of law of substitution, what author is trying to say is, even you can use the power of your imagination and brilliance. Sit, relax, meditate, and use your imagination, just once you sit and realize that realization is nothing but you're understanding where are you right now, what are you doing. After you realize that, using your imagination and brilliance, see that how best or how better person you will be if you just heal from this kind of situation. So if you start imagining, and that's how you start living in that way. So that's what here author is trying to say. And so okay, always have this kind of thing. Imagination is something, this is also a very important point. So in the imagination, you should never have the limits. Like Lewis here always says that imagination should never have limits, because when do we have limits for our imagination? When we are limiting ourselves to receive, when we are not open to receive things from the universe or nature or this existence, and that's when we will have that. So always have the free imagination. You don't have to worry about, I gotta only imagine this, that. No. So always have a free imagination. And this is about the mental blocks. So the next one, yes, this is very important. How to use your subconscious mind to remove fear, right? Everybody has this fear. So we have multiple fears in life, right? Fear is the greatest enemy. So fear, in this point, there are multiple types of fears, but there are only two types of fears. One is normal fear and the other one is abnormal fear. So coming to the normal fear, what is normal fear? Everybody will have this fear of death, right? That's normal. Fear of death, fear of getting sick, fear of doing that, this, I'm fear of dark, all of this, I'm fear of ghosts, all of this, right? So once after all of this all comes into the normal fear. What is abnormal fear? Abnormal fears are something like phobias. Phobias are abnormal fear. Phobia, I mean, these abnormal fears of two types. One is fear of falling, and the other one is fear of failing. These two. So they are common, because most of the time, if you are on top of the mountain and if you feel yourself that you're falling, and if you have these kind of anxieties, they are something that you gotta really heal yourself. These kind of fears are important, and the regular fears are just normal, like as everybody will have those. And you know what author says, normal fears are very good for every human being to have. That's how they will understand what are their limits, or what is the discipline that person could follow in their life. Discipline is not just the regular physical discipline in thoughts of our mind. That's what he's telling. So always when you have a fear, so what author is trying to say is, always do the thing what you're scared of, what you're afraid of. Keep doing it over and over and over again. I was scared of driving. I was scared of cars. I was scared of going on the road, because you know what happened. I was driving good when I was in Florida, but when I came to California, when I moved here, my sister got a new Tesla car. Okay, new Tesla Model S. She invested so much. She got it, and she was driving on road. I don't know what even happened, because she was with her family, with her kid, and I was here in my apartment. Some random afternoon, I just got a message from her. She sent pictures of the whole car crashed completely, and the person in the driving seat was her. And the fear she had, the shock she was in, every day for a week, she was just telling over and over and over, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened. That scared me, because I have seen many of this around, people around me. So I was much scared to get onto the road, like literally. And couple of weeks or months back, somehow, I don't know, some random time in the night, there was nobody on the road. Then that's when I started driving. And slowly, what happened is I was scared. I had the lots of fear, but still I was just I was pushing myself forward. You gotta do this. You don't have another chance or another go right now, because you gotta live here. You gotta do this. I kept doing it, and till date I don't have a license. I'm an illegal driver, but that's okay. So do always something what scares you. I was scared of dark. I was literally scared of dark. My dad always, he used to tell me, he used to ask me to go lock the gate in the night before everybody was sleeping. And I was like, why are you telling me? He knew that I'm scared of that. He just wanted me to, get ahead of that. So he was always used to tell me. Then I was like, how are you even telling me? We live in a forest and you ask me to walk alone till there, and how would I even lock the door? Do you actually ever thought of this? Would I come back if I go there? What if I don't come back? I used to question him like this foolishly, and he's like, nothing is going to happen. Because, the moment I used to get out of the door with the lock and a key, he used to start seeing in the camera. And he used to start watching me. How am I going? What am I doing? I was not aware of that, or I was always scared, because that time in my mind all happens is I'm not scared in this forest. How do I walk almost 2 furlongs away to lock the gate? And then slowly what happened, situation, then I was like, I started seeing my dad works very hard all the day, and after coming, he will have his dinner, and he every day I see him with minimum, he's tired. He's tired, much tired. Then once I started growing, I used to be like, oh my god, papam, now he gotta go till that far and log it. That's okay. Then I used to be like, I'll try going. I kept on doing that, and slowly what happened is, okay, I live in a place of 3.5 acres, and it's completely in the forest. From then, slowly what I started doing is I used to just have my earphones and start walking all over. I used to do almost, and my mom used to shout, the temperature is going down because it's a forest and it's a hilly area. Then the temperature is always low, always drop down. So for that, I used to have sinus, these kind of stuff. Then she used to be like, again, you'll get sick in the morning. Why are you roaming in the night? And all I used to do is just eat my dinner and take some fruit. And I used to just walk all over. I used to keep doing consciously, unconsciously, but that really worked. Once you're scared of something, keep doing that unless and until you lose that. It's only, even Patri sir also many times he said that what is stopping in life is just fear. See, most of the people, if we talk about spirituality, I have faced this. Most of the people, what they say, I don't want to listen that. You're a person, a useless person. You're not ready to face the life. That's why you're talking all this bullshit. The spirituality and all that doesn't work. Then I understood. Oh, it's fear of reality. You're ignoring your reality, because you are just thinking that if you start understanding this, you are only in the shock that what if you might leave this reality after knowing all of this. No, that's not happening. Most of the people have that fear of all of this, because even I had that. How did I understand when other people was doing that? Because I had that. I did to the other people when they were trying to tell me. Then I was doing all of this. Why are you even telling me? Do I really need it? I am 16-year-old kid. What are you trying to do with me? I used to question this to my mom every day. I used to torture her. Stop telling, stop telling, stop telling. And now I tell her and she'll be like, stop telling. It's like that. So always deliver yourself from all of your fears. That's very important. And we'll just go through what all are there. So yeah, fear is nothing but a negative thought in our mind. So again, the same law here, what author is trying to explain is law of substitution. Whatever fear you have, just get into that. You will have that fear only unless and until you get into that. So once it's done, it will not be there. So for us to get into that kind of state, what we need is a motivation, confidence. Before all of that, we need a hope, right? Hope or faith, these kind of things. So it's again the law of substitution. supplant it with a constructive thought. No fear. I had these kind of fears in my career related part, because most of us have that. Would this happen? Would I get a promotion? Would I get ahead in life and career? What would happen? These kind of fears. Simply I just stopped all of it, and I just started thinking, of course I will do that, of course I will get that. Then meanwhile, what should I do? I gotta keep that thought very constructively and healthy. If you give one thought, I mean one positive thought, if you start confusing it, if you start doubting it, you're making your thought unhealthy. Then once that happens, all you can see is a confused end point, a confused result. So instead, always maintain the same focus. And as we always know that the man's greatest enemy is fear. So okay, there is one more important point I need to cover. When people have abnormal fears, like we discussed, abnormal fears are not from this what do we say? This lifetime. They have been carrying since so long. Some people die in accidents. Some people, accidents in the sense road accidents. Some people die with uh, multiple different uncertain things happen in life, and that's how they end up life. So those kind of things people keep carrying, because it was an unfortunate death. It was not a fortunate goodbye, it was an unfortunate goodbye, right? So when these kind of things happen, they are really called abnormal. So in this point, normal fears are good and we can just do it with our actions. But when it comes to the abnormal fear, all we got to do is sit and use your subconscious mind to overcome all of this abnormal fear. So what do we do with our subconscious mind? Subconscious mind is a storehouse of memory, right? So see what happened. And that's what past life regression is. You don't have to see all of it, but you should have a hint how it happened or what it happened, and that's how you got to heal yourself. So once the you know yes, that's all. This subconscious mind, what it can do is, it has lots of power to provide you what actually happened. And with that, you can provide lots of energy from where? From your heart, because your soul resides in your heart. So push lots of energy to that and change it. So that's all he is telling. Yeah. So if this all doesn't work, what is the one, like, one best solution that you can overcome all of your fear? Is just that desire. Your desire. What you actually want out of it. You're scared of, but you want it. Then make a desire, make a purpose out of it. Then start pushing yourself ahead into that. So this is about fear. And the last chapter is how to stay young with your spirit forever. So this topic recently I have covered in other sessions. So spirit and how do we keep it young? It's a very interesting topic. So this is actually, after reading this chapter in this book, I have realized it's all about the book called I've Decided to Live 120 Years. So the same concept, this author put it in 5 pages, that author put it in 200 pages. So it's a simple concept. Everybody on this planet, only if you can forgive, only if you can see the fear, you're coming ahead of all of it, and that's when you can start living young. Okay, spirit, for us to maintain youthful, young, and dynamic till you end up your this existence, all we need is spirit. What kind of spirit is that? So spirit here is nothing but vitamin H. Okay, so this is only released by your brain. That's vitamin H. So vitamin H, I don't know what vitamin H is, but the author says H stands for hope. So your brain needs lots of hope. Okay, that's when it can release lots of very beautiful and positive hormones that can make you young, that can help you live young forever. So here author is trying to say is age is not numbers that you have lived or years that you have lived. Age is the wisdom you have gained. So age is the wisdom only that you have gained. Okay. And the next one he also was trying to say is people from 65 to 95, why their physical body starts decaying or slows down, only because nature and life is giving you a chance to focus something more than that. So from the age of 65 to 95, till then you will be in the physical athletics, and after that you will be in the mental athletics. Start focusing on your existence, start focusing on your mental body, and that's when actually your brain starts slowing down. So author always says that brain needs something new, brain needs something creative, good ideas, new ideas. You know, at the age of 65, 95 also, if you start making good ideas, or if you start have generating new ideas, and that's how you maintain yourself young. That's what spirit is, that's what confidence is. But most of the time what happens is at the age of 60 or 65, from the age of 40 only we start thinking, oh, you know, in some days I'll be going to my bed, I'll be like this, I'll be that, I cannot do anything. That's very, very, very bad. Because see, you know, why 120 years? It's just that our body has been completely designed, and our body or our cells can regenerate. It has that capacity to be regenerated till 120 years, or more than that. Minimum is 120 years. So what's the maximum? So we have long, long, long run. So you know what happens is we think 70 years, 80 years is the last that we could live. So what happens is we live so energetic in 30 years or 40 years. You're not understanding, when once you're at the age of 60, then you have 60 more years. You're just half the journey. So you can be as young as you are at 30s and 40s. You can always and always be that. So for all of that, only one important thing is maintain your brain health. Maintain your brain health is start using your creative mind. Your brain can be generated two things. Okay, one is this logical mind, which is conscious mind, and the other one is creative mind, which is subconscious mind. So your brain, if you don't make your if you don't let your brain generate more creative ideas, or if you don't let your brain use most of your subconscious mind, you're eventually, everybody will have amnesia. We all know this disease called amnesia, right? So at the age of that, everybody will have amnesia in the percentages. So what happens is when you keep growing that fear, or when you keep doing that, till the way you can make up your own story that I cannot do this and that. And that's when you start pushing your brain to slow down completely. So you can see your amnesia killing yourself, or killing you like so crazy. And amnesia has percentages, and everybody has that. And the main biggest thing behind it is fear. So in considering that point, to avoid all of this, just always keep affirming that my brain is healthy, I am mentally healthy, and my memory is very accessible. My memory is still alive and it's accessible, and I have all the access to it whenever I want. So I'm not losing my memory, and I have a very great memory. So always keep affirming these kind of things. So this is all just about how do we live young at that age. So yeah, this is the important statement that I would like to cover is you must be a producer, not a prisoner of society. That's true, right? This author and the other author also, they both said that you know, nobody have shown us example that we can live up to 120 years consciously. That's why we always just think that, because we have always seen the examples of people dying at 70, 80, and that's what we think that it's true, it's real. But why can't we be the example, and why can't we be the inspiration to the younger generation or the next generations, that we could live up to 120 years? So that's what it is. And so okay, here the other thing is, okay, fruits of old age. Fruits of old age is nothing but we have many things in the old age. So once you get old, you don't have to think that I am physically ill, I have that problem, this problem. No. All you got to see from the brighter side, saying that I've got enough time to focus on all of this. So I have kept on running and running and running since the time I was born. And right now I just got time. And right now I am stable, I'm stabilized to look into what I am actually. So that's how we got to see. And the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such, there is no law. So it's just that you are a son of infinite life, which knows no end. You are a child of eternity. So this is all we got to remember ourselves, that you are a son of infinite life which knows no end, and you are no child of eternity. And you are a child of eternity. So here author is only telling in the last chapter that our subconscious mind has no age, no time, no deadline. So always keep your subconscious mind active. When your subconscious mind is active, and that's when we avoid amnesia. Everybody will have amnesia. That's why people live without their consent. Without knowing only, they will die. Everybody will have at least 5 to 10% of amnesia. So only with the people, we are all so lucky. We know this reality that there are multiple worlds. We live here and we live in the middle of the two worlds. We know all of it. We're at least lucky. Maybe we lie at 2% or 3% of amnesia, but not fully. So always use your subconscious mind. Using subconscious mind is easy, very, very, very easy. It's only that everybody says that if you just keep hoping and sit like that, would things really work? You need to go, you need to get into work, you need to do yourself, work hard, right? So actually here the one thing is, for some days just start experimenting like this. You know what happened? 3 days ago I was talking to my friend, and I think it was full moon. So we went on to the full moon view onto a mountain top, and I was sitting there and I was not okay, feeling not okay that, still I'm not up to the mark in my career. I have still many things to do. And I was like, I have a job and I'm getting paid, everything is going on normal, but still I'm not satisfied fully. Then I just told that, I'm literally surviving. I don't know, I'm not living that satisfactory, that what I really want. And the other person questioned, what do you really want? I said, I really want a job in one of the FANG companies, and that's when I can see myself very successful. Then right now my visa is about to, I need visa extensions are in the process, but still my current visa is, uh, close to the deadline. Close to the expiration. It's end of this year. Then it's, though I have a year time, but every company is like, you don't have a valid extension. So unless and until you have a valid extension, we cannot at least take you to the interview. And I was just sitting and thinking, why is this even happening? I've tried multiple. People are ready to interview, and I am ready for the interview. But the only constraint is this. And I was like, why can't a miracle happen? Why can't people just change their rules? It's all about them. So why are they making it this complicated? I was just sitting, and then that's when I started seeing one of the subconscious minds and Louis Hay videos and manifesting videos. And I was just dreaming about how beautiful is Cali and how beautiful are these mountains. I gotta live here like this, like that. And I just started affirming myself, feeling cherished, everything. Just in an hour, I got a call from a Facebook recruiter saying that, that's okay, we are fine with all of it. Then why can't we just go ahead into the interview process? Then I was like, seriously, like what? And this is how your subconscious mind works. Nothing I did, nothing. I didn't apply to any of the role, nothing. She just saw my LinkedIn profile and she reached out. So that's how your subconscious mind works. You work on it, you start using it, it will work effectively. All you gotta do is lots of confidence and belief that you keep on that. That's it. So this is all about subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind needs your belief, needs your trust. That's it. Nothing else it is expecting from you. Lots of belief and lots of trust. So yes, I think we are done.
Thanks, Sohana. It's wonderful, really wonderful. And yeah, so many key points to take from this class. Yeah. So yeah, it's like we normally think like, okay, only half of the part 60 years, we still have another 60 years. So we need to tune our brain like that instead of like, okay, we're almost 60 instead of saying that. Just 60.
I
Yeah.
will actually share that video. You can actually watch that. I mean, that's a whole book again, and multiple points and multiple techniques the author have shared. And the last weekend only we have done it in one of the US groups, one of the spiritual tablet groups. I will share it in the. If you want, I can share it to you. You can share it in the group.
Okay, you did a book series of that as well?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I have decided to live for 120 years. So you can actually watch that. I mean, I haven't done like complete series, but that book is all like very small and important topics. I have covered it in one video. I mean,
Oh,
2 hours of session. So you can
yeah,
use
yeah,
that.
sure. Yeah, please do share with us. I will share with our group as well. Yeah, thank you. So let me just see. Friends, like if you have any questions, please do raise your hands or you can use the chat as well. Chandana is saying it's a huge, as usual, it's a wonderful session. Thank you, Sohana. So finally, we have completed it. Thank you so much, Sohana. It's like it's been a long. I mean, you have said like, I mean, it's not like about the time it has taken, but the way it was driven by you. It's so good. Like it was, even though we know the concept, it's like coming from a different perspective, and we feel like, oh my God, we could think even that way. We didn't knew that. So it's like that. So we enjoyed your sessions thoroughly. I could say that, and I think all our
I
friends are great.
I
Yeah.
could actually thank you and everybody because since so long, I mean, reading book like once and for all is like okay, not completely getting deep into those. But every chapter, every week, and I used to learn, and I used to be like, okay, every day I'm learning new things, and because of that, I started practicing it like every day because I have this kind of thing. If I don't practice it, if I don't experiment, I cannot come onto the screen and I cannot tell it very confidently. I don't have that thing. So I need to experiment before I do that. Then I used to sit and connect the dots. Okay. But it's a very good book. Like since so long, since I was fifth class, sixth class, I have been seeing this book. But now the time has come, then I have fully covered it. Then every day somebody does wrong with the subconscious mind, then I'll be no, you're doing it wrong, you got to do like this, you're spoiling it. And it's good actually.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Sohana. So here we have one question. Sohana, could you please share the breathing technique for sleeping, which you have mentioned a while ago?
Oh yeah. So yes, I got it. So right side of your nostril is Surya Nadi, left side of the nostril is Chandra Nadi. So we know, right? Surya is sun and Chandra is moon. So when you actually inhale and exhale from your right nostril consciously, that time it will make you awake. All the cells in the body are completely awakened. If you are not able to sleep in the night, then what you do is I mean consciously, don't close your nostril, but just consciously breathe from your left nostril. Only focus on your left nostril and see how it's happening. And that's how you got to do. And this has been experimented, and you actually go to sleep within no time with that, and very peaceful sleep. And yes, these are the only two techniques and easiest techniques. That's it. I mean, if you really want to, if you're sleepy, you got to do lots of work, then just focus on right nostril. And if you want to sleep, only focus on the left nostril. So yeah.
Great technique. I think, is it from your mom? You said like, yeah, you following it,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah. Thank you,
Because she
Sohana.
used to meditate a lot, so she always had this problem of sleeping in the night, because if we meditate a lot, we don't feel sleepy, or we don't feel that. So she figured it out in reading one of the Patrisha's Telugu written books. So that's how she found it, and she was like, okay, we gotta do this.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Sohana, for sharing. Yeah, Chandana is also happy. Thanks a lot, Sohana. It will be quite useful. So from Varasa, it's like thanks, Sohana and Lavanya, for a wonderful session. Yeah, thank you, sir. Any other questions, friends? I think today is like our last session with Sohana for this book, not for forever. It's like she'll be going to come back. I'm going to take her back. But for a while, she needs little break.
Yeah. We are actually starting here session. I mean, from PMC USA, we are actually starting a session for the bipolar kids and parents, spiritual parenting. So this is not something online. We gotta go to the places that where they are actually the orphanages, hospitals, and all of it, and that's where we are starting our training there. So yeah, this is the huge movement since planning since so long, but now it's coming to the manifestation. Like. So good. I think that's when we actually started this class of I've decided to live 120 years. And that was actually part of the spiritual parenting program.
Oh, okay. Oops. Okay. Thanks, Sohana. Thanks, from Sandeep. It's like thanks, Sohana and Lavanya. Great session. Fear and forgiving. Oh, that is the things takeaway for Sandeep. And from Chandana, lot of good techniques and takeaways from these sessions. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Chandana. So how is this like you guys are all going there? Is it like how is this program is going to be, Sohana? I mean, this little more about this program
Yeah.
you're
So
offering.
we have actually, I mean, here we have people from east side and people from west side. So every state has one representative. So on the east side, there are many people. The whole PMC USA starts from east side. So, I mean, from their side, they have made a list of organizations. From my side, I have made list of organizations where we can go and find people. So, most of the orphan places, most of the, I mean, hospitals and wellness centers. So, I mean, clinical psychologists. So, there we will have all this kind of thing. So, that's when we have put requests to everybody. So, as soon as we get a approval on the request, so we just go there and start training them on that. So it's like initially 1 day sessions for everybody, then slowly we are planning it. I mean, everybody is planning in their own way. I mean, which in every state, I mean, however it works for them, because there are many people there. I mean, they are like much responsibility, so they are planning according to there. And but in Cali, all I did was, there are many social security places, many orphan places, places, in wellness centers, hospitals, and the clinical psychologists. So that's how I made all the lists of contacts, and I have sent an email to everybody. So we got couple of approvals. So as soon as we get that approval, we will fix a date with them, and we'll go there and just help them. And if the parents and kids are okay, we start doing it personally for them. So there is nothing charged. It's just a service in the movement of spiritual tablets. I mean, spiritual wellness towards the bipolar kids and parents, especially. So that's how it is. And actually, I am planning to start a wellness center, but I'm looking for the proper place. And right now it's COVID, right? So it's like still not up to the mark. So meanwhile, just looking and looking and looking.
Ah, okay. You have so many things in your plate, and you're going to start a wellness platform as well. Oh, great. All the
So
best
actually,
wishes from our side. So hope all your dreams will come true. Yeah, because you're doing it for your society. It's like it's not a small thing. Like doing a small sessions, it takes a lot of effort, and doing for all these things, I know, like it requires a lot of commitment and efforts. Oh my God. Yeah.
there is a person called Ashok Maineni, sir, and he's a very well wisher of mine. So he's part of the spiritual tablets USA. So he have been actually sharing it since so long. So we were like, it's COVID, nobody's going to let us in if we go to the places also. So we gotta wait. Now it's like, okay, we'll do it. So last time we decided, okay, we'll do it. So everybody is on that planning to how to do it, what to do it, and all of this is happening. My perspective is just sending an email, fixing a date, going there, talking directly, and that's how it works. And we cannot just keep doing it smooth rule. That doesn't work. So yeah, it was actually Spiritual Tablets idea, but they wanted a volunteer from this part of zone. But yeah, it's a good thing. Since long, even I had that idea, but nobody would let us in this COVID time. So
Yeah.
that's the only thing.
Finally, I think we are out of this pandemic, so hopefully everything should come onto your way. Yeah. I think we have from Madhavi ma'am. Thanks, Sohana. Excellent session. Any good book you recommend about Ramtha?
Yeah, actually, I will tell you.
Is it that white book you have? That's
Yeah,
the yeah.
yeah, that's the book. That's the only book. So, White Book is the book which covered all the Ramtha's concepts and techniques. So, I will do it here. So actually, before getting into that, you can also go on YouTube and watch the videos of JC Knight, who is a channeler of Ramtha. So there is no Ramtha live, and she's the only person who is channeling. And she's there, and even she's the author of that white book also. So if you actually want to see real, there are many videos that how she channels Ramtha, how Ramtha comes into her, how she will be if Ramtha is in her. Without Ramtha, how is she going to be? She's a very thug lady, like very dynamic lady, what I feel. Because yes, till date there were many raids happened on her, many raids happened on her. I mean, they wanted to justify whether she's real or no, because for every course of her there is a huge school called Ramtha School of Enlightenment here. She owns it in DC, Washington DC, close to the Oval Office. That's where she established. And here, what is happening is they did many raids, and she could still survive because her every course is literally $2,000 to $3,000. Only one course, and it's all about pure quantum physics. Only quantum physics, nothing else she's going to teach us. And that's real, and she's a very fascinating lady, very. And she's, I think, almost 90 years, 80 years, but she looks very pretty, very young. You gotta see her and listen to her while she's talking. And Ramtha channels into everybody if we allow him. He's very easy to be channeled. If you want to experience him, it's easy. So that can also work. You can go through the white book, or I think I have a notes of Ramtha. I mean, all of our spiritual leaders, PMC masters, what they did, they made points of they made points of all Ramtha's book, and they made it like 12 pages, 13 pages, each and every important point with no examples. I think I can share that, so you can go through.
Yeah, that would be interesting because I heard like many of, I mean, even I have started it, I haven't completed it fully because it's like I feel little complicated stuff to understand. So it's like so yeah, it will be good if you get that kind of summary. So before that we can read that and then we can understand what's going on.
And for Ramtha, actually, JC9 and all, more than reading books, all I got it from half JC9, and 90% it's all Allah Baksha sir. I used to, I was never part of that group or team. My mom used to listen when I mean, it's I mean, you got to register for that class, I guess. And that's how you got to listen to his sessions. My mom used to register, and at that time she used to call me, though it's midnight for me also. She used to call me, wake up, he's starting his class. And that's how I used to listen his class. So I have covered 8 to 9 classes. That's what he told. But all of the Ramtha's knowledge stories he had shared, it's very good, very good. So I think I'll share that series. Now they are open in YouTube, so you can just listen to those 8 to 9 videos. They are much enough for us to understand the white book quantum physics, in everything. So there are many logics, many formulas, many circuits. So he explained it very well in Telugu as well as, so we can enjoy that. And Allah Bakshu sir's narration is extraordinary. We can enjoy his words. I enjoy it, so it's good.
Sure, Sohana. So we will look into it, those videos. I mean, yeah, if you can give us a link, that will be also helpful. Yeah. Anyone else, masters? Sir, Vara sir, you just raised your hand. You can unmute yourself. Yeah.
I did it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent one. Sohana is good one. So you were saying about forgiveness, love, 70 times, something like that, right? So when I gone back, it dropped to 30% from Dwapara Yugam to Kali Yugam. Because Krishna, he said, okay, forgive for, Shishupala for 100, and one at one he was out. And it is dropped to 70.
Yeah.
And when it was declared 70, and since then till now, it might have dropped even further, right? And so what I am trying to say, day by day, the forgiveness and the love and affection, that is going low and low, deteriorating.
Yeah.
And how these meditations and self-healing, self-realization things are going to enhance and revert back to either 100 or maybe much more times forgiveness and then increasing the love and affection. Do you think it can happen or no? Just I thought just asking.
Yeah. So actually, sorry, I think there is a resound happening. So I mean,
Just one thing I wanted to add, make it more easier. This is dropping because of the people focus on materialistic world, the money, greedy, and no matter what, And think about, because you love Apple, right? And then Steve Jobs and Bill Gates and Microsoft, it actually came out from Apple operating systems. And no matter how fortunate they are, how much money they made it, and Steve Jobs' words on the deathbed, everybody knows. Knowing all that, still people fall into the same circle and never coming out of that. And I see many people with the same thing every day. No matter how much I try to, give some kind of insight, will never change. They say, yeah, okay, yeah, but they are like that. So with this kind of mindset today, seems to be very difficult to go to 100 times forgiveness and then going higher times of love and affection. In the families we see, day by day it is deteriorating. And think about between the individuals, the community, and then the world. I thought you got
yeah.
what I am trying to say.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, it's first thing, mainly as you said, it's ignorance. Every human being's ignorance. This is what it is causing, and 100 times forgiving is actually, we gotta realize that is for ourselves. 100 times forgiving is not for somebody else's. It's all about once we are leaving from this planet, what are we taking out? Our wisdom and our experiences. Unless and until we don't forgive, we cannot experience more on this planet. That's a key point. So that's why we gotta keep forgiving and keep forgiving. And after a point of time, and the best thing I could say is stop counting how many times we forgive. It's part of our life. So counting down becomes bigger and bigger, and that's when the lots of pride and ego starts growing within us. We no, they are all continuous. So I think this is how it is. So yep, I think it's time. So thank you all. Thank you, Lavanya, everybody, for this beautiful journey, and especially the book I love the most, which I always wanted to read it, but yes, it happened. And like as usual, I love to share what all I gained. So I do it. So thank you so much, and see you soon later sometime. And thank you, Lavanya.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Sohana. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
sir. So yeah, see you then, everybody. Bye. Take care.
Bye, Sohana. Take care.